Hello guys and welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be making my predictions for game week number 36 of the 25-26 EFL Championship season. But before we begin, let's see how I did last week. I got one scoreline bang on. I got Millwall beating Preston 2-0 correct, and I got 4 more outcomes correct, so that is 7 points, taking my season total up to 256. And this is how the table looks after 35 matches. And without further ado, let's predict this weekend's matches. And we are missing a couple of matches because of the FA Cup, but we're going to start tonight with Preston North End against Oxford United. And, well, both these sides they're in pretty unpredictable form at the minute. Oxford, on their days, they can get results, and Preston likewise, they can make it very tough on teams. Preston are at home, and I do like Preston at home, but they have been struggling a bit recently. I think they're down to like 11th in the table, and Oxford are 23rd. They're still in the drop zone, but they're only a couple of points, from safety. Wouldn't surprise me if Oxford actually got a last-minute 3 points here. But I'm going to sit in the fence with a 1-1 draw on this first one. I think a point wouldn't be a bad result for either, given a few other results I'm about to predict today. But I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, a point apiece in this one. Next up, we've got Blackburn Rovers against Portsmouth in a huge relegation 6-pointer match. Well, I say huge, neither side are actually in the bottom 3. Blackburn might be 20th, they might be in the bottom 5. But only just. It is tricky because I don't want to go against Portsmouth with the form that they're on at the minute, but it is at Ewood Park. I do like Blackburn at home as well. Blackburn have been on pretty decent form themselves recently. I know they lost 3-1 to Derby last game week, but they're in pretty good form. Oh, and 2-1 to Bristol City. But at home, I do fancy Blackburn to get something here. I could see goals here. I'll go for a 2-2 draw. I'll go for a Desmond on this one. I think a point would keep both sides obviously clear of the drop zone, clear of trouble, and I think that might help them. So 2-2 draw on this one. And next up, how about this for a promotion 6-pointer? It's Hull City against Millwall. It's 5th against 4th, actually, because Ipswich over the midweek played Hull and won 1-0, and, well, they've now leapfrogged Millwall up into 3rd in the table. But this one's interesting because I like the way Millwall's played so far this season, and I think they are very much in the promotion hunt. But they are going away. I took a punt on the 2-0 win against Preston, which worked out for me, but Hull at home can get results on their day. I don't really want to back against Hull at home here. Don't want to back against Millwall either. So I'll go down the middle once again with a 1-1 draw. I think a point would keep both in the playoffs and the playoff discussion. I think 1-1 draw and a point apiece is what's going to happen on this one. Next up, we've got Sheffield United against West Brom. And I'm worried for West Brom right now. They are really struggling. They're grounding out loss after loss, defeat after defeat. I think they lost 2-1 to Oxford last week. They lost 2-1 to Oxford last week. Of course, their new manager was sacked. I don't know if it'll be an interim for this one, but they are going away, and they're going to a Sheffield United side who are fairly high in confidence at the minute. I think Chris Wilder may be, writing off this season, but he's thinking next season they can go on a run, maybe at least make playoffs at a minimum. I can't see anything but Blades win here, and I go fairly comfortable. I'll go Sheffield United to win 3-0. I think West Brom they're struggling too much at the minute, so I'm going for a 3-0 victory for the Blades, comfortable win. Next up, we've got Charlton Athletic against Birmingham City. And this is an interesting one, a difficult one to predict, because Birmingham, if you'd asked me 2 weeks ago when they were in good form, I'd have been like, straight out Birmingham win here. But Charlton are at home, and they are back to their 1-0 ways, their 1-0 ways, their very cagey ways at home. And I think Birmingham's lost back-to-back games now. I think if this game was at St Andrews, I would be preferring Birmingham to win and keep the ball rolling, or get it re-rolling again. But Charlton at home are a tough opposition, so I'll go for a 1-1 draw on this one. I think Birmingham might get a draw, maybe snatch a draw. I could see Charlton going 1-0 up early, making it hard for Birmingham, and Birmingham maybe from a corner, a set piece, finding an equaliser here. A point apiece again and a 1-1 draw. And now it's that time of week again. It's Derby County against Sheffield Wednesday. It's that time we talk about Sheffield Wednesday again. And, yep, things are looking pretty horrendous for them right now. Must be said. Derby are actually, they're flying. They did just beat Blackburn 3-1. I think. Yeah, they just beat Blackburn 3-1. And Sheffield Wednesday, to be fair, they are scoring in their games, but I can't see them getting anything. And they concede quite a few. I will give Sheffield Wednesday a goal. I think they've got the quality to score, but I've got to go Derby. I'll go Derby to win 3-1. I think it might be fairly comfortable for the Rams here. I think Derby may get all the 3 points. 3-1 Derby. Next up, we've got Ipswich Town against Leicester City. And this is a battle of two sides who were promoted together last time they were down here, then relegated down from the Prem together. And, Ipswich are third place, they're in the playoffs. Leicester, after the points deduction, 22nd and in the drop zone. Where do I go with this one? Well, the thing is, I said it before, I think Leicester, of all the sides down there, and they're down there because of a points deduction, though their performances aren't great, I do think Leicester, of all the sides down there, look maybe the most impressive right now. Them at Oxford, maybe. But I think Leicester might score. But with Ipswich being at home, I've got a back home advantage here. I'll go Ipswich to win 2-1. I think Leicester can make it closer than it needs to be, but I think ultimately the Tractor Boys will get the 3 points to keep the pressure on Coventry and Middlesbrough at the top two. 2-1 Ipswich. Next up, we've got Swansea City against Stoke City in a battle of the S-cities. Swansea, they did lose, was it 4-1 or 4-0 to Ipswich? And Stoke only just lost 2-1 to Coventry. Coventry scored a last-minute winner. But Swansea I do like at home. I've been impressed with their form recently. And Ipswich are a tricky, opposition. They're tricky opponents, and I do think that Swansea will get the 3 points over the line here. Because Stoke, under Mark Robins, they started the season so well, but they've really tailed off now. I'm going to back the Swans. I'll back Swansea for a win and a clean sheet. I'll go 2-0 to the Swans. I think I can just see them getting the 3 points over the line here. 2-0 Swansea. Next up, we've got Bristol City against Coventry City. And, well, this is another interesting one. Because we know that Bristol City, they are the home side, and we know Bristol City can make it tough for teams to go to their place and get results. But this is Coventry, and since their victory against Middlesbrough a couple of weeks ago, they have been on red-hot form. Bristol City, of course, we've got to say, 1-0 loss to Port Vale in the FA Cup in the midweek. They'd have already played 120 minutes. Port Vale winning it in the 112th minute. I've just got to back Coventry here. Primarily based on the form. I think Bristol City might find a goal playing freely now they're out of the cup. But I think Coventry will just snatch the 3 points. 2-1 to Coventry. I can just see Coventry remaining there at the top of the table for another week here. 2-1 Cov. And then finally, on Sunday, 4:30pm, kick-off, it's QPR against Middlesbrough. And so like I said about Coventry, Middlesbrough's form, actually, since they lost to Coventry, has been pretty poor. I think they had 3 draws on the bounce. And then they go out and hammer... Who was it? They go out and hammer Birmingham 3-1 at St Andrews. What a result that was for them. But the thing is, they need to keep, they need to keep grinding out results if they're going to keep the pressure on Coventry at the top. And QPR haven't been on the greatest run of form recently either. But they're at home, so I'll give them a goal. But Borough, they do seem to be back on their confidence levels a bit here. I think Borough will win 3-1. I think it could be fairly comfortable. Borough like to score a truckload of goals, and I think they will again here against the QPR side, who are fairly goal conceding happy. I think that Borough will get the 3 points with a 3-1 win. And there you have it, guys, all 10 of the Championship fixtures that are going ahead this weekend predicted. I know we're running out of a bit of time. The games start tonight. But I'd love to know your predictions in the comments down below. And we'll check back next week to see how I've done. And I'll see you all in the next one.